This is part one of me redoing my entire home network from the ground up. Hey, kitty. So I recently gained access to a lot of really great equipment. So I'm going to be replacing my firewall, my switches, access points, at one point cameras, all of my wiring, and even more to come after that. Now it's probably going to take at least a few months to get all of that done. But first things first, let's get all of these opened up.
All right, so let's open each one of these up. I'm not sure what's exactly in each one. I know what I ordered, obviously, but not what's in each box. On top of that, I am holding my phone with one hand, so trying to do this one-handed, so please bear with me. But as I open these up, I'll tell you a little bit more about the equipment, its specs, and what I plan to do with them. So this first one has two boxes in here. Now these first two here should be my outdoor, my outdoor access point. So this is a rugged access point that's meant to be in harsh weather. It is a Wi-Fi 6E 4x4x6 access point. Didn't bother with Wi-Fi 7. Really, it's not needed in most environments. Not many things use Wi-Fi 6. At the bottom here, you're going to see 3 ports. One is for console, one for 2.5 gig, one for 1 gig. I'm not using multi-gig in my environment, so I'm not going to need that. And this other box, I only ordered one of these. So, and this second box here, I'm not sure what it is because I only ordered one access. Oh wait, no, this makes sense. This is actually all the mounting equipment for the outdoor access points. Mounting outdoor access points can be a huge pain in the butt, so I'm glad it comes with a bunch of different kinds of mounts here. That first one there was the wall mount. This one I think is a ceiling mount. That would make sense if it's a ceiling mount. And it looks like there's some pole mounting equipment, power for it. I'm going to be running power over Ethernet, of course, so I won't be needing that. And this here is a grounding cable, which you really should be doing for outdoor APs. And this one, along with the other APs, are all going to be at least 4x4s, so 4 different radios. One of those being Bluetooth, and I believe this one has 6 different antennas, so great coverage overall. All right, on to the next one. Now, first off, I really like these bamboo handles. They just feel good. It's a nice touch. But this box is definitely going to be the FortiSwitch. Yeah, there's the 124G full PoE. That means there is PoE power over Ethernet on all 24 ports. This is going to be kind of like the central hub for my whole network, so everything's going to be connecting back into this one, and this will connect up to my FortiGate. It's also going to be the thing that powers up my access points and cameras and anything else that I plug into it. And here we have all the mounting gears. So we have the rack ears and the tiny little screws that hold these up. Now these I totally forgot the switch had. These are 6 1 gig SFP uplinks, which I doubt I'm ever going to use unless there is some major changes to the network or some equipment that I'm getting. But you know, maybe the analyzer. We'll see. But I mainly just got this for the 24 port PoE. Which these are it. 24 full power over Ethernet ports, USB console, and SFP uplinks. On the back side, pretty plain, just your very standard power outlet, and no fan, just passive cooling. But let's put on these ears. I'll use one of my favorite little toolkits here. This thing doesn't have a lot of torque, but it's more than enough for these little ears. Again, there's not a lot of weight being held up on this one. All right, now what does this giant box have? More boxes! Yay, okay. Little one. Not sure what this is. But I took everything out. All right, now we can continue. The tiny one here is... Oh, a tiny switch. That's right. So this is just a little 8-port switch. This one has no PoE. Not really needed. So yeah, just plain old tiny little 8-port managed switch. And did not expect this one to have SFP uplinks because it's just going to replace this little neck gear unmanaged switch here. This one here powers my PC, laptop, all my workstation, everything here. And it's fully populated. And here there is, oh yeah, Fortinet branded console cable. I was not expecting this at all. So sweet treat. I wonder why the big one didn't have it. This one does. Not complaining. And then power for this tiny switch, and it is... That's not right. Is it? Okay, yeah, we got the right one here. All right, cool. Now these two are going to be my access points. I got one for upstairs and one for downstairs. They're also 4x4 Wi-Fi 6E access points. They're 431Gs, and they're again a bit of overkill. They're also a lot bigger than I expected. These are replacing some tiny TP-Link access points that, I mean, they get the job done, but the coverage is not great. This one, the coverage should be way more than enough. They are pretty heavy too, probably like at least 5 pounds or so. But I'm mounting it onto some pretty solid foundation, so shouldn't be a problem. All right, and here are our interfaces, also multi-gig, but I'll be running at 1 gig. Console port to directly configure them when need be. Power, but we have power over Ethernet, so all good. USB console direct access also, which I did not know about. Cool. Now you might be wondering why get these giant access points instead of, you know, something consumer grade. Besides that, because I can, the coverage is going to be great. The density isn't going to be an issue for a single family home. And it has a lot of other cool stuff. Like it has a spectrum analyzer built in. We can do packet sniffers. It can scan for rogue radios, which, I mean, that stuff shouldn't be necessary within my home, but there's still good labs and shenanigans that can be had. And this here is the main event. This is my FortiGate, my firewall, my next generation firewall, if you will. This is a FortiGate 71G, despite what it says there. This does have a hard drive. And the main reason I'm upgrading is because gigabit internet is finally available in my area, but the 60F that I'm running can only push 700 megs of threat protection throughput. So I'm being throttled by my firewall, unless I start turning off features, and I don't want to do that. But with the 71G, with the G series ASICs that came out, even this little firewall can push more than a gig of throughput with all the features turned on. And now I also have licenses for a bunch of other features that I didn't have on, so I get to experiment and lab quite a bit with this one. On the front, you just have your static lights for all the usual stuff, and the other little knob there is for grounding. On the back is where everything happens. You have a power adapter, which I'm not a big fan of because it's like a proprietary kind of power adapter. Should just have the universal one everything else does. And all these 8 ports here, they're basically universal. It has labels on them for their function, but you can change the function all you want, so it doesn't matter what it says. And then we just got to look for, here we go, here's that power supply I was talking about, which I actually needed some extras for some old FortiGates I have. Because my old FortiGates are going to just be used for labbing now, maybe as a backup, but I don't think I'll need it as a backup. And so here is my full stack. We have our 2 FortiSwitches, 3 FortiAPs, and a FortiGate at the center of it all. And the coolest thing is this thing is actually a controller for everything here. I can manage the switches and the access points all from the firewall.
Okay, and we got it all open. This is just the first wave of stuff. I still got a couple more things. Actually, I just got this one for a project, and that's the second 71G. And I might put an H in it. Not sure yet, honestly, but now that we got everything, first thing we're gonna have to set up is the firewall. This my little 60F is not gonna cut it anymore. So yeah, this is gonna be the main project I'm working on that I'll bring you along the ride for. But I do have a couple other things I'm planning on, so keep a lookout for that. But yeah, so if you have any questions on any of that equipment, on how I'm gonna set it up, or any questions about your home network, let me know in the comments. Okay, so I'll see you in part 2 where we start setting up that firewall.